Hi, you're going to be coming with us today on an amateur child photo shoot. This is my daughter Molly. This is me blowing up a balloon for the photo shoot. It's actually going to be a fake hot air balloon that we're shooting today. The idea is this is a steampunk themed setup where she's supposedly going to get into a hot air balloon and fly to a birthday party. That's the whole theme. There are 3 boutiques that got involved with this shoot and sent the clothing and some jewelry and then a hat. And we're the photographers and the models. There's my daughter now doing hair and makeup and clothes with my wife, while I am getting some of the prop stuff ready and mostly setting up lighting. We got up at 5:30 in the morning to try and come out and catch the good light, and of course things don't always go as you plan, especially when you're dealing with kids and big weather balloons. You can see right now she doesn't look that happy. That's Molly getting ready. She's trying to smile for the video, but photographing kids makes it tough because you always have that unknown element of what kind of mood are they going to be in. When are they going to have to go to the bathroom? I think in about 10 minutes, Molly's going to need a trip to the bathroom. So, right here, this is me trying to finish blowing up this big-ass weather balloon with one of those little 12-volt air pumps. And it put a little air in, but it didn't work out too well. We fit the balloon in the back of the minivan in a partially deflated state, and the plan was to try and inflate it the rest of the way on site. And we got some air in, but it didn't work out quite as we expected. Now, my wife and I, she's out there working on props, and I'm out there trying to get these light stands set up. There's Molly, patiently waiting in the truck. She's happy for now. Cut back to us in the field. I think now the sun's probably been up about a half hour or so. You can see we're kind of in a shadow under a tree. I'm setting up my camera tripod now. Mostly the reason I brought the tripod on this shoot is so I could shoot with the 200 millimeter prime lens. When you're shooting flash, you're constricted to, well, I'm constricted to sync speeds of 250th of a second or slower, which makes it, whenever you're dealing with mixed light especially, you really need to keep that 200 millimeter still, especially on a crop camera, which I'm using. Now we're just attaching the balloon to the basket. And this is a setup my wife's been planning and working on for quite a while now. Wasn't expensive, but it required a lot of planning and work. This is a little birthday banner she's hanging on the balloon now. And you might notice I took the soft boxes off of the lighting, off of the strobes, because at this point we've got so much light, the modifiers are just gonna make it way too difficult. I'm gonna have to be shooting at full power and long battery recharge times in the flashes, so it's easier to just take the modifiers off and shoot bare, so I can drop the power back.
We will at the end, okay? We're going to do some standing outside first, okay?
And you learn lessons out here. One of the reasons I'm trying to shoot, another reason I'm having to really use more flash is because, well, it's kind of bright out there, and I'm having to stop down my aperture to get the shutter speed 250 and under, which means the flashes have to work harder to compensate for the smaller aperture. So it's kind of a catch-22 you're in whenever you're shooting in mixed light like this. And I am shooting into the light, but we positioned everything in a shadow. You can see right now I'm just doing some test shots. But we're in a shadow, and that's to try and avoid too much glare coming into the lens and too much light spillage coming into our scene. I want to at least control the light on the scene. There's my wife Candace doing a few last-minute touch-ups. I've taken the 40mm prime off, and I'm now attaching the 200mm prime. I'm going to work with it for a little while. That's you're looking at a Vivitar 285 flash there, and I'm using the Paul C Buff Cybersyncs to trigger those flashes. I actually have a third flash that I brought with me on this trip. It's an optical slave, and it's just too bright out here today for the optical slave to work. If you're shooting in pure shadow or pretty much in pure shadow with not much sunlight out, then the optical slave will work. But in this condition right here, it just wasn't good enough. And you can see, for me to get everything in frame with the 200mm, I really got to get back. And that's probably not even everything there. That might have been a head and shoulders type shot. And I'm still positioning the lights, trying to control shadows and light power. The Vivitar is a good flash, but it's it goes, let's see, the lowest power is 1/16. Then one click up from 1/16 is 1/4 power. So that they skip the 1/8. So a lot of times I find myself having to manually adjust that power by moving the flash. The flash on the right is the Sunpak 383, which is my workhorse. Extremely powerful, cheap. They don't even make it anymore though, and pretty good recharge times and very reliable. Now, you can see we're trying to get my daughter to look at this globe with her magnifying glass. She's picking out the best route to her destination in her balloon today. And you can also see one of the other issues I ran into now, and we're still running into, that balloon is getting lit by the sunlight, and when it does, it looks like a big light bulb. So it's pretty hard to work with in Photoshop. I'm having a little bit of difficulty. But timing is the key. My daughter will be terrible and crying and hating everything for 5 minutes, and then for 5 seconds she'll smile and you get a chance to take a perfect picture or two. So you got to be ready. And there's my wife, Candace. She's coaching from the sideline there, making sure the hair's all straight, trying to coax Molly into a good smile. I'm back there shooting. Colin's holding the video camera right now. Doing a little light adjustment for a different pose. And you can see we moved the setup. We kept running from the light. We're getting closer and closer to these trees so we can stay in a shadow. Because once you get out in that full sunlight, it's just impossible to control the light at all. And you can see Molly is not very happy, so our time is short. She is really... We're going to have to Photoshop out some tears on this one. But she'll give me a good smile occasionally,
Okay, look, Daddy and I are gonna
even
have
in
to
that
go.
mood. I'm gonna pick her up. You hold that.
You just be real still and Daddy's gonna put you in there.
She generally likes it, but when she's had enough, she's had enough. But like in a case like this, we put so much work into this setup.
You're gonna have to bend down. Your hat's hitting the top.
We just got to go ahead and power through sometimes.
You wanna get on your knees?
And these aren't really shots we're going to use right here. This is a thing we told her if at the end of the shoot, we'd let her go ahead and get in the balloon, take a few shots. Some of these came out okay. But they didn't need to. But she's having a little bit of fun now.
Look at Daddy smile.
And I'll be posting the shots pretty soon. Right now I can't because they're the three boutiques. They're kind of in a contest right now, and the photos have to stay private. But I hope you enjoyed my short little video, and maybe you learned something. I did learn something on this trip too. So thanks for watching, and I'll try and post another one of these soon if people like it. Bye bye.